welcome back to Dallas Cowboys coverage. This one coming after a very rough loss to the Denver Broncos. That was not good. I'd go as far to say that was the Cowboys' very worst performance, not only of the season, but in quite a while. And, last year was rough, but that was a rough game last week. It's been a while since the Cowboys have taken that kind of a beating, especially at home to a really lesser opponent in the Denver Broncos. So, I'll get to it, but really just a disappointing game overall. So, I'm going to dive into that breakdown of everything that went on and some updates around the Cowboys going into this week coming up right here. Alright. So, the Cowboys do lose this game 30-16, but that score honestly looks a lot better on paper than if it was when you watch the game. Nothing was going right offensively, defensively, special teams. Even when it looked good, it didn't work out. So, really just an all-around not good game. Dak, definitely his worst performance of the season. He was kind of able to get back on track, during garbage time. It was good to see him, kind of get back in a little bit of a rhythm, carry some positive momentum going into next week. But it was just an off game for him, only had the one interception. It wasn't the worst game, but he just wasn't clicking like we're used to seeing. Just, not his best game. Zeke, I think, played fine. Really was pretty limited in his carries. Suffered that slight injury. He's okay. But really, he played just fine. Averaged over 5 yards a carry. Just the Cowboys got to the point where they just were not able to really focus in on the running game. So that same thing goes for Tony Pollard. Just really not the opportunities you'd like to see. Amari Cooper had his very first drop of the season. It was not a good game for him. CeeDee Lamb had a couple good catches, but again, really not much at all. Same goes for Cedric Wilson. Really, the only big performer offensively was Malik Turner. Had the 2 touchdowns, quite a bit of yards, some great catches. Again, this is garbage time, doesn't matter too much for the end result of this game, but still a good performance for him individually, so, give him props for that. Same thing, tight ends, just not a whole lot. The offensive line was much worse without Tyron Smith. They really felt the lack of Tyron Smith on that left side of the line. Terrence Steele just, that's not his position. He was uncomfortable the whole game, and the entire offensive line suffered. So, Dak was under a lot of pressure, and really, again, the offense just couldn't do a thing all game. And then defensively, wasn't much better. Trevon Diggs, for the second game in a row, just struggled a little bit in coverage, had some bad penalties. Again, second game without an interception, so, that's not as big of a deal, though, just as the coverage lapses. That's something he just needs to improve on. He makes a lot of big plays, had that one huge pass breakup, but he just has to work on his consistency, and as a second-year corner, he's doing so much better than any of us expected of him this year, and he's just going to keep growing, keep getting better, so, there's going to be some inconsistencies, but overall, I'm not too worried about him. Continuing, again, the defense was really pretty shut down. Not a lot of pressure was able to be generated, other than that of Micah Parsons. Him and the linebackers really had a pretty solid game. Van Der Esch had his very best game of the season. Had, I believe, over a 90 PFF grade, his really best game in a while. It was pretty quiet, or not quiet, but he kind of flew under the radar, but had a good game. Micah Parsons, though, that's my player of the game. He had 2.5 sacks, total of 10 tackles, a quarterback hit, and 3 tackles for a loss. So his second really huge game in a row. I think he'll probably win Rookie of the Week once again. You saw him get that belt. He had a great game. Really the only player other than maybe Malik Turner to really have a good game, and I mentioned Leighton Van Der Esch. Special teams, we didn't see Greg Zuerlein, so there'll be more on him later, by the way, with his COVID situation. But again, back to Malik Turner, had that huge punt block, and then unfortunately, by some rule I have absolutely never heard of, it was overturned. So frustrating. The Cowboys really had a chance to swing momentum back in their favor, really get back in this game, but Nashawn Wright apparently touched it past the line of scrimmage, so it comes back. Still an excellent play by Malik Turner, but it really doesn't amount to anything. So, that's the game overall. Again, not much to say about it. Really just a struggle all around. And as some Cowboys players said, I think it was a humbling experience. I'm not trying to put a positive spin on it. It was a horrible game, one that I'd like to forget. But, as long as the players can learn from it, move on to the next one. We have another winnable game against the Falcons team. But again, we don't need to be getting overly confident. We need to take them seriously like we would any other opponent. They're 4-4 too, just like Denver was. So we just got to go in there, play our best, really, and just get back on track. And I look for a big win next week. We've seen, we were exposed this week, but I really think that they can get right back on track. And really, again, I'd look for a big game next week against Atlanta. So definitely hoping that everything can go better next week. Everyone can get back on track. And again, one positive I will say out of this game is there were no major injuries. Zeke had that minor knee injury. He's all good to go. So I'll continue with injuries. Tyron Smith obviously missed last game with an ankle injury. He's going to be questionable for this next game. No official designation. I don't mean to say that they've officially announced that, but his status is very much up in the air. He has a chance to play, but again, we'll see. Really, want to make sure he's able to heal properly and completely and get back out there because the Cowboys need him. Continuing with injuries, CeeDee Lamb and Amari Cooper both were able to play. They'll be good to go. And Michael Gallup. He looked for him to finally be activated off of injured reserve this week. He should be good to go as he has been a full participant at practice this week. So it would really be good to see the Cowboys' big three wide receivers get back, all playing together. So really be exciting to see Michael Gallup back on the field. So those are the main injury notes, and now I wanted to go into the Cowboys' COVID situation. Greg Zuerlein today was placed on the COVID-19 reserve list, so I would not expect him to play. I'm not sure exactly all the details, but again, very doubtful that he plays this Sunday. So the Cowboys are holding kicker tryouts tomorrow. Liram Hairulahu, the Cowboys preseason kicker, will be there along with everyone's favorite, Brett Maher. So it's probably going to be one of those two as the fill-in kicker for this next game. Let me know which one of them two you'd rather have, and just your thoughts on the game. I'm sure, nothing positive, but, let me know in the comments below what you're thinking. If you want to predict the score for next game, the Cowboys-Falcons. And that's about it. Hopefully Greg Zuerlein is able to heal up, get better, and hopefully be ready to go after a couple weeks. Unfortunately, he'll probably be missing this next game. So, really, again, just a tough loss. I think we got to just keep moving forward, learn from it, and again, I look for a big game next week against the Falcons. So, thanks again for watching, and go Cowboys. I'll see you guys next time.